Hello viewers, I'm SB and welcome back to a very unusual game of Endless Legend. I feel like it's been strange. As you can see here, we've got a couple more regions that have suddenly become uninhabited, and I don't exactly know how this occurred. So our running theory for regions suddenly becoming uninhabited has been privateer armies, right? And so far that's made sense because they've been on Red's border. I guess, you know what? Okay. The roving clans get access to the technology that lets you make privateer armies out of mercenaries in Era 2, I believe. Everybody else gets it later, but we are late enough in the game that everyone could have it by now. Yeah, it's this one, right? Yeah, so it's an Era 4 technology. It is absolutely reasonable for every player to have Mercenary Corps. So I guess what we could be seeing here is mercenary privateer armies from some other player burning this stuff down. I don't know who would bother. I can't imagine the necrophages would, because they want to be winning battles with their proliferators and stuff, right? I don't know. But whatever's going on, we got a hole over here that I guess we could surge over and we could fill this up. I don't know if it's worth it though. Like at this point, if we're putting down a village, if we're putting down a new city around turn 100, like are we going to get enough benefit out of that city to justify the cost of having to build it up and also the loss of approval in all the other cities and also the loss of a point of population in one of the other cities to build the settler? Frida at least does have 2 villages, so it would be like paying 1 point of population to gain 3 points, but it's 1 point of population from a highly developed, efficient city to gain 3 points of population in a tiny, crappy city. And while we could probably afford the dust costs of buying up a bunch of buildings to try to like make the city modern in a real hurry, I don't know that we could afford the strategic costs because obviously like early buildings and late buildings use a lot of the same resources. We just don't have the titanium and glass steel right now for that kind of stuff. So I think we're probably just gonna let this stuff go. The AI could take it over. We have an Urkin. I would definitely be worried that any Urkin that we posted up to take advantage of the resources in Frida would just get grabbed by the necrophages though. I could close my borders on them. Actually, we might already have closed borders with them, right? No, they've closed borders to us. But I have to close borders to everybody, right? If I don't close borders to the cult as well, well, actually, I have already closed my borders to the cult. And then I'm at peace with the other 2 players in the area. Maybe we could grab this safely if I did the close. Yeah, that's an interesting idea. I should also note, blue is basically removed from the game. They have a very, very small amount of territory, and when the save loaded up here, we have this offer from blue. Ordinarily, I would be reluctant to trade marvelous alloys for 20 glass steel, but I don't think blue is a threat to anybody in any kind of way. They're not going to be able to win the game off of 3 cities, or I suspect 2 cities is what they're going to be left with very soon. So this deal is basically just get 20 glass steel for free, which I'm into. I'm basically fine with that. Although there is a little bit of glass steel on the market. There's no titanium, and we do still need titanium more. So what if we counter propose? Can I get some titanium off of you? It looks like not very much. Remember, if the AI proposes a deal, it's always a deal that's favorable to them. So you can always come in and counter and add a little something and they'll still accept. But I think I might want to pull the glass steel term entirely and just take as much titanium as they'll give us. Because that rules, right? That's actually very, very good for us. And I certainly, I do not care about paying 38 influence. So yeah, I'll do it. Congratulations on your very late game technology. Good luck using it to defend yourself. All right, so I guess we're going to kind of keep our eyes on our own paper for the moment. How do we best do that? What is the smart play from here? And one thing that would be nice about owning this territory is that it would let me potentially, like, it would let me watch what's going on with Brown, and if somebody, say, should do some of the work of fighting them, then maybe we could swoop in and steal the city, because, like, you know, it has the Alchemic Institute and stuff. It would actually be pretty handy. You'll notice that says Alchemic Institute level 3. That's a cult thing. If they surround their districts enough, they can level them up an additional time, which obviously is a pretty big deal. So I have to be able to plant naturally. I can't just execute the burrow move without being planted. So all right, why don't you run as fast as you possibly can over here? I'm not going to spend the influence on closing my borders to the necrophages just yet. Although maybe I should, because they have big armies and I don't necessarily want them to see how available all of my cities are. Do we know what our empire plan is going to cost? So we don't really need the happiness, right? We determined that we are actually fine without it. I definitely want to do that. So that's 2,000 at least, which is, I think, very, very easy for us to hit from here. Yeah. What if I wanted to add some combat stuff? What if we wanted like that? 2610 requires me to gain 1,500. This requires me to gain 2,200. As it stands right now, we're going to get in the neighborhood of like 1680-ish. I think we'll be fine without the 30% attack boost, but I do want to lower the cost of producing troops for sure. Yeah, so we have plenty, we have room under the cap then. It's not a big deal for us to spend the influence to close borders with them. And so maybe it is just worth doing it right now. I'm going to just do it right now. This is very expensive. Okay. Yeah, get out of here. Looking around my territory and seeing how vulnerable I am. How dare you? Alright, so we've got our security buildings going in most places. Pillar duration 3 turns. So I want to bank up a good amount of money. We want to be able to push through an awful lot of pillars, but it doesn't have to be everything. We can buy some stuff out here. I definitely want a climatology guild. I think, well, actually, no. In this city, the climatology guild's not even that good yet. I guess we have 2 level 2 districts. It's not amazing. I think we're probably actually... you know, this is not bad here. We ended up with quite a lot of river. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 river tiles right now. And that'll make this a science tile, which will mean that it's getting boosted by the big science building as well. And that's only 10, and probably like not very much dust to buy out. We're certainly going to need this eventually for the everybody becomes science focused part of the deal. So I guess we'll make that happen too. It's not critical though. So let's not prioritize it too highly. I guess then let's not spend the titanium at all at the moment. Next turn we'll bring in enough that we can start another one of these somewhere else. I don't know where else we still need it. Oh, okay. Yeah, we don't have imperial funding in this city yet, and obviously it's very important here. So that'll help. That'll be good. And do I want to reposition my army, given that I moved those guys? No, I think this is still like the crossroads of getting everywhere quickly. Here in Isield, we can buy some stuff out. get a caravanserai going. Okay. And you know what? Also just buy. Yeah, let's just buy stuff out. Let's just get things done in a real hurry. All right, the plan is head down, charge forward. Just put together as much raw scientific power as we possibly can. And also start building military units at some point, probably pretty soon. Okay, armies are regenerating health again, which is like extremely whatever. It does not matter where the Urkin is in the region, we just need to put down. The gold can never be allowed to run out. Somebody built the reliquary, which is the thing that I do not care about even a little bit. Winter's soon, right? Soonish. This will probably be the last winter. But it might be long. It might be up for quite some time. What are the winter effects right now? So just -1 food, -1 dust on certain tiles at the moment. I don't know the winter immunity is worth it, given the way things have worked out. Lioneth is which city? Lioneth is, oh, the capital, right in the middle of the empire. Okay. And the spy got away with it. Fun. Let's round him up. Let's run that spy out of town. So yeah, I'm not going to do that. I think we're actually just going to grab Will of Akili. Well, do I want Will of Akili or do I want Inspirational Leader? We still do get a lot of benefit from the food and the industry and the dust. This is Rondaria. Rondaria is... The industry bonus is somewhat meaningful. The food's not really, but all the other stuff is. Yeah, let's take this. And then actually, this city should definitely have an Imperial News Network. That's a real good build there. So we'll just have to buy back Zarcha Atenul when the poison pushes her out. Let me queue up the Imperial funding here in the place where the Imperial funding needs to go. We are not spending dust on anything this turn. This is pillar dust now. Gonna make sure that gets done. So you can build, I mean, negotiation tactics is good everywhere. A national museum doesn't really make a ton of sense right now, but burrows could. So there's another thing here. We also could build west and try to build a strategic intensifier over top of the Palladian so that we're getting even more. If our weapons are going to be primarily Palladium based, we may want a real strong Palladian input in order to have a functional army in case we need a functional army. Let's make that the first burrow. Where else do we need orders? Nowhere. I do kind of wish that when a hero was poisoned, you could just pay dust to buy the poison off. You know, just like pay the same amount that you're going to have to pay to resurrect them. Just so you could do it early and not have to keep thinking about it. All right, where are we at here? Is that 4 techs? That's 3 techs. 3 more techs until we want to be done with research. So, what else do we want? Well, we definitely want 8-unit armies. That's a thing that we're going to need to have access to. That's a real safety issue. A single turn for a tier 4, an era 4 technology. Seems pretty reasonable. It feels like we're doing an okay job. I can't believe Isield's at 7 population already. We've really got it going. Is this the thing I have to search? Okay, yes, this is the thing I have to search for my faction quest when winter begins. Alright, so let's put down in Fritta, gain ourselves a region here. Quickly before the enemies arrive. Hooray, it's mine. Somehow our empire found time to get larger, and I hope that we're pulling... Is the art indicating that we're pulling from stuff? Okay, so we do... Well, we're pulling from the titanium deposit, but it's not overgrown yet. I'm not sure if we actually get the mithrite, because the mithrite is overgrown, right? Oh, no, the mithrite is not. It's the only thing that's not. I wonder if maybe they don't have the technology for that. I can't imagine any other reason why it wouldn't be, why they wouldn't have taken it, you know? All right, what are these? Peace with the cult is probably fine. Or somebody will give me access to the next era if we declare war on Brown for them. That's... Boy, that's an interesting offer. Now, I'm assuming... Oh, yeah, fire this for sure. I'm assuming that the cult has a large and terrifying military force. Yeah. Purple's trying to get us in trouble. We should not buy into this. But what is the cult's deal with everybody else at the moment? They're at war with purple and green. Green is still at war with the necrophages for some reason. Are you two still fighting? Yeah, you two are still fighting. I think purple and blue have managed to hobble each other so badly that at this point neither one of them is actually in the game anymore. That can totally be the outcome of a war. It can be the case that both sides of the war just lose very badly relative to everybody else. In fact, I might go so far as to say that that's kind of the default outcome. So, rough bad news for them. I think we are absolutely going to refuse this, and I'm going to accept this. I'm not trying to take Brown's territory. I don't think we have the force for it. We're just going to do this thing, and everybody's going to be chill and fine together, forever. What a bunch of friends and teammates we are. So, 2 more technologies. Do we need state-approved theater to keep our cities happy without the 25-point approval bonus? I guess is a question. Let's double-check the math a little bit here. So one thing that I really wish games would do is, like, the value of this is capped at 100, right? But it should show us the actual value as well as the 100. Like, for example, this city is, what, 115, 120-ish? So it should say, like, 100 parentheses 120 or something like that, just so that you can know how much you could afford to lose and still be above the gap. This city is... Wow, that city's way over top. Same deal. Same deal. Why is Underin... Where was that minus 20 from? Non-leveled up city tiles. Okay. So no, we do not need expansion disapproval reduction. Okay, then what do we want? Does cultural indoctrination make sense? Do we have a third minor faction that it would be reasonable to bring on? Health regen, life, vision, plus 10% fortification, so plus 30% total fortification for all of our cities. A very small dust bonus. I don't really think so. I don't really think that that's very valuable. The ability to forge alliances might be, but also it might be best to just, like, we did not take all of our spell level techs. Like, maybe we just grab those, and that's you know, further defensive play for us. Think of how good our spells will be in combat. I think that's my plan. We don't need alliances, we just need people to be generally non-violent with us. And I guess as we get a little closer to wintertime, we'll probably want to move this army over to this thing. What exactly do we have to do? Is it just search it during the ruin? It's that one. And also, why is this not pinned? Why would I not have pinned this? What am I thinking? That's another one. Oh, that. Well, now that's inconvenient. I'm definitely not allowed over there. You know what? We're not going to finish our faction quest anyway. Who cares? I did receive confirmation that there are levels of pillar level ups locked behind the final step, and those would be cool to have. But I don't think it's feasible, and I don't think we need it. More critically. My memory was that they were spread out. I believe now it is the case that you get 2 pillar level ups at the very, very end of the quest. My memory was that it was like 1 pillar level at like step 4 and then another one at the very, very end. That might be an ELCP change, and I do not exactly understand why it was made. I'm sure they have a good reason. If there's anybody who has thought about this game more than I have, it is definitely enemy leader boss. Absolutely not. That's not even a good price. Why would... If I were to consider this, it would not be for 16 Hyperium. It is kind of funny how everybody wants me to join their war, despite the fact that I don't have a... You know, everybody can see that military chart. They know I don't have an army. I guess the idea is I have good positioning for fighting, which is true. All right, let us buy many, many pillars. That's not what I wanted. I missed the button because I am clumsy. So remember, these pillars reach out 2 tiles in every direction. So there are a lot of really good places for them where they are getting just tons and tons of exploitation. Okay, so Onderin was the unhappy city, right? This is the top one. They're in alphabetical orders, so it basically had to be this one. Is that? It's just 3. Okay, I see why this city's unhappy. Well, do we want to build burrows out to fix it? Because if so, I want to be careful about how I put pillars down. I guess hold on. Let's not even consider that yet. We have other cities where it makes sense to do so. Put down some pillars around here. This would be a good spot for one as well, right on top of the weaver worms. I mean, they're really good around Lioneth. We should make sure that we are being quite thorough about Lioneth, because Lioneth has all of the boosters. Were I to build another district in Lioneth, where would I put it? I'm trying to make sure I don't, like, block myself out too much. You know, honestly, I don't know. Just gonna pillar this city up so good. Let's put... I'd love to put down one more. Can we get there? 1463, we can get there. That can happen. You know what I have is a small amount of Hyperium. Okay, there we go. Lioness science output 3,800. Out of curiosity. Ooh, hell yeah, run the dust water. Out of curiosity. Yes, 3,800 is more than the science output of almost every other player's entire empire. It is the most scientific city on the planet by a huge margin. I guess not by that huge of a margin, because Brown's entire output is also concentrated in one city, but still, it's still the most. It's still the most. I'm still winning. It counts. All right, so we'll put some effort into researching the old Painosphere, and then we're going for it. Then we're in victory notification generating territory pretty quickly afterward. Actually, we thought Red was working on an endgame tech, right? Yeah, they've been on it for some time now. Green, it looks like, just got the ability to start working on them as well. So we have to imagine Red's going to get it soon. I really hope Red finishes their first endless tech before we finish ours, is my primary concern. Because I want all of the victory jealous players looking that away. Okay, we are pulling this in. There's no luxuries or anything in this region, right? Yeah, it's just the 2 mithrite and the 1 titanium. And honestly, the 1 titanium is way more valuable. Okay. Do we really not have this building finished anywhere yet? No, we totally don't. Okay, well, give me a trader's lottery here. Us being out of dye is a little bit of a problem. Is there dye on the market? Yes, we can, in fact, rerun the dye booster next turn. Or we could wait 1 turn and... No, we'll buy our way back in. I don't have time to wait. We got thresholds to meet. All right, here we go. The ominous ring of the final era. Okay, Lioneth has 70. Oh, right. Sorry, it's still working on the building. It has 70% security because the roundup is running. Never stop moonleafing. In Isield, I'm pretty sure we're just building another burrow for the moment. Although, actually, the Imperial News Network would be good. If I queue this up and then throw everybody on industry, what are we looking at? 11 turns? I may leave that way because we definitely have some stuff to do with dust this turn. All right, so first things first. I am getting on the dye booster 1 turn early because I do believe it is actually going to be of value. Next up, the Dust Orchid comes up from the ground pretty slowly, and 11 Dust Orchid is not going to get us where we're going. And it's not even going to get us there. Well, actually, it might. It might get us there next turn, because we don't actually know how much Dust Orchid we have. It could be 35.5, in which case this 11 would do the job. I think we're going to buy it, because again, it really is important to keep the... Oh, right, you can't. Sorry. Can't buy 11 at once. That would be unbelievably greedy. Just totally unfair. What else do we want? We'll have enough Moonleaf and everything to rerun those boosters. Spices would be nice, and we can totally just buy ourselves. Okay. Let's run some things. Is it target governor? It is a target governor on Skyene. Okay. Take me to Skyene. I'm gonna press the button. We're gonna always press the button. And we're buying out some traders' lotteries this turn. That is what we are doing with a lot of this dust. Okay, several of them are just going to finish naturally. I am going to buy out the one in the capital because I feel that it's very important. And that's going to prevent us from buying them out anywhere else. We could get Onderins, I guess. May as well. Rondaria needs one. That's a thing that matters. And nothing for it really at this point. We push. So populations keep growing, the research keeps getting done. Stupid mushroom spies. There is really nothing we can do about that. By the way, get our security values up so that the spies can't run multiple operations in the same city is, I think it's the best counterplay we have. And yeah, that's just what we'll... Oh, Juliarn is also empty. I wonder if Purple's using privateer armies? It must be, right? Why, though? I don't know. Weird. Oh, right, because they're not formally at war anymore. Purple's using privateer armies because it wants to keep harming blue, but it doesn't want to be in open war anymore. So you're only at war with green right now. The best thing that could possibly happen for us, I think, is red generates a victory notification. And then somehow the necrophages get baited into declaring on them. Ugh, we're going to need troops. We're going to need a lot of troops. This is getting a little... We're cutting it a little close on the very small number of units. Once Rondaria finishes the 2 buildings it's making, it can be full-time troop factory, but like the Imperial News Network is actually very important for the building of the units. This is the turn that Zarcha Agenal gets poisoned out, and then we just fix her and insert her back into the city immediately. Of course, it is also the turn that the building got finished, and I'm hoping she still got the XP. Okay, Brown is no longer marked. We did not unveil any spies in Lioneth, and I have to think we would have. This is Madanav. Like, obviously, we're at the part of the game where science matters an awful lot. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take this. I think most cities we're going to take the raw science gains. Rondaria might be the exception. Okay, so lots of traders' lotteries are finished, and we definitely still have some science buildings we can build here. I think we're probably gonna use our dust to rush out like this stuff. Like, let's buy that. Too much work left to do on that thing yet. That's pretty meaningful. We should probably do that. How long until... It's going to be a while before we have to rebuild her. I'm definitely going to buy out the Trader's Lottery here. We'd be better off finishing this first. Well, no, probably not. What I was thinking is we could use that to then build the Imperial funding. But honestly, we're gonna end up buying so many of the buildings that we're looking at here. The Imperial News Network is still important because it does give us more science, but it's not. We're probably not going to be doing a ton of slow building from this point. So we definitely still need an Imperial funding here. Eesh. Nobody's put any more Dust Orchid on the market, which is a real shame. Well, we'll get that refired next turn. It's okay. So we could Hydromiel. It's worth money for sure. I don't know if it's worth enough to matter though. So again, I am a little bit slow pedaling this first endless tech. We're not going to jump everybody over to science right away. In case you're wondering why I'm not jumping everybody over to science right away. But we will get over there when it makes sense to. So what do we still need in this city? We built our Abbey of Anomalies already. I guess from here it really is just burrows. And at some point a climatology guild, which is like fine. And an arts council, 10% science on 3,600 science is like a significant gain. So I'm trying to like figure out what exactly do we need to spend dust on this turn. Okay, so there's no reason not to build this. This city just has like terrible science output per citizen, so we really need to build all of those buildings, but that is not trivial to do. So how do we want to shape this? I mean, I don't have any pillars down over here. Maybe we just want to build this city in sort of a more normal formation. I'm going to build this here. And then we can build a district there, and it will instantly be level 3, and then we can potentially fiddle around, but this way we get the extra industry from, or the extra resources from picking up more tiles a little bit more quickly. And I guess I don't really think it's probably worth buying this out, I guess. It's not amazing, but it's something, and then we probably do just put down more districts. And once again, probably in a way that is not particularly like pillar optimized, just like get as many level 2s as possible. So when Rondaria's thing is finished here, Rondaria is producing troops. And I think it makes sense to spend money on this before we spend money on anything else, just to get troop production running. Okay, my spy has hit level 5. Red has been cursed, which makes sense to me. The wine must always be flowing. My people cannot work unless they are totally smashed. Imperial, whoa, yeah, accept. Absolutely, friend. Actually, that was a little silly. We could have wrung probably 10 more titanium out of him, I bet. I got too excited. Scientific specialization for map exchange. I don't value your maps at all, friend. I do have a counter proposal for you, though. What if no map exchange, but also you give me as much titanium as I can wring out of you? Wait. What happened there? Was that a visual bug? Yeah, okay, the bar had not updated correctly. All right, yeah, we'll just get all of the world's titanium. We shall become a strategic resource baron. All right, green is potentially going to be very annoyed with me. And I'm not really sure what the thing to do is, actually, in this situation. Do I want to just run reveal spies? Reveals and wounds all spies of the infiltrated empire within your empire to the tune of 75% of their max HP. I don't know that there's value in crashing their science production or anything. The city has a... Oh, actually, it's listed on here. The city has a security of 40%, so there's a 50% chance that we will not even get noticed doing that. Let's just see. Spy was unnoticed. Okay. No green spies in my empire. So we might want to jump Arla Sabor out of green stuff then, and maybe jump her into red? Alright. I do want to keep the bonus vision. We absolutely have to take this. I think it is definitely worth it to do that. And that's our empire plan. We are going to need every science we can get. So, Imperial News Network is Mythrite dependent. I mean, we can just buy Mythrite. Mythrite, ooh, well, technically true, but just barely. That being the case, do I want to be a little bit more cautious about this? No, I mean, the city's population is good. This is a reasonable place to build an Imperial News Network. Like I said, I think this is of critical import. And then, like, probably the Imperial funding in Zoparusk is next in terms of broad effectiveness. We definitely want to get those Imperial fundings down. I'm assuming Slick, I already built it probably. Yeah, looks like. Rondaria already has it. Although it does not have an alchemy lab, which it absolutely ought to. I can see why it doesn't. It's not a very large city. Yep, that's worth putting up. Just trying to get all of this science stuff in the queue here. So the Climatology Guild does make sense for you. Madanav's going to need Imperial funding. Okay. Yep, that ate through all of that titanium. So, our spy now has 10 seniority. When you perform a task, a spying task, you gain seniority points equal to the level of the task. So we got 5 seniority from that, and then she has a skill, if you will remember, that doubles the amount of seniority she gains whenever she gains any, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, double seniority bonus. So what seniority does is it's just a flat infiltration point bonus every turn. So in addition to the large number of infiltration points she generates base, she generates more and more the longer she works in the city and the more stuff she gets done in the city. Right now we are at 32 infiltration per turn, so it'll be really easy for her to run back up to level 5. And because that was an empire-wide infiltration action, they don't know what city the spy fired it from. If we do any of the city-based ones, like for example, target governor, as we've seen many times, the notification includes the city even if the spy doesn't get caught. But since she did an empire-wide thing and didn't get caught, they don't even know where to turn up the heat. We'll keep an eye on the security of the city. If it starts climbing, we will just pull her out and move her to another empire. But I'm hoping it won't be necessary, and then maybe we can do 1 or 2 more things here before we move elsewhere. I know Red's science output is nowhere near our own, but I'm really shocked they haven't finished that first technology yet. Oh, sure. I totally forgot that was a quest we were on. That's fun. So yeah, here in Rondaria, I think it makes a ton of sense to take the 3rd point of Inspirational Leader over Will of Achille. We'll go back and get Will of Achille. And then this is where we need to start probably pumping out troops so that we are ready, or at least we're in the position, we're in the process of getting ready when people declare war on us for all of the very good work that we're doing, scientifically speaking. So... Oh, Barians was burned down. I wasn't watching. Okay, well, I guess Arla Sabor is done in green territory. She did good work. Let's get vision of a red city. Okay. Only 40% security here in Intai. And then I think I'm going to go ahead and, well, I'm going to keep my army right here for the moment. We can cross the Empire so quickly that when it comes time to search the ruin, we'll be all right. Okay, so... Yeah, I guess this is worth building. That's way less than a single turn worth of... Actually, no, it is not less than a single turn worth of industry, but we have a bunch of rollover. And then let's update some of these unit designs. So the big expensive version of this guy definitely needs a little bit of love. First of all, let's take the dust gear up to tier 3. I don't think that it's worth considering the titanium or glass steel gear we've unlocked, both because titanium and glass steel are unbelievably precious and because 14 defense, 36 health versus 14 defense, 74 health. Just not effective enough. And we are strongly incentivized to use Palladian weapons. So... That's a pretty big boost, right? 110 attack, 56 damage versus the, 35, 38 that we were looking at before. Oh, we should probably also fix this. So we have a lot of options now. Obviously, improved life 3 has a lot of value, but we also have just like improved damage. I think, broadly speaking, I would prefer improved damage, but I don't think we have the titanium necessary to make that a viable move at the moment. And we probably wanna go with the big grown-up weapons. Do I want to use spears? Also, we pull in way less adamantium per turn, but it's probably worth having at least one type of unit to use adamantium weapons, just so that we're not draining all from the same resource pool. So that might be you. What's the difference? 119 attack, a little bit of defense, 56 damage versus 119, 56. Okay, the difference is Palladian gives less defense but more initiative. I probably want my Dorgeshis to be fast. The adamantium weapons can go on the melee infantry. So if we end up fighting a lot of... That's really hard to know. What's around us? The Morgar are going to be armies largely composed of... Sorry, let me hit apply. We'll come back and finish editing this. The Morgar armies are going to be largely composed of minor faction units. I'm not so concerned about their units in particular. It looks like they have some Ended and some Harmonite. So that's a sword. That's a force that you want to bring a sword against. Obviously, if the necrophages come at us, it'll be mostly with infantry. So yeah, I guess sword makes sense. Were we to fight a lot of roving clans, it would probably make more sense to go with the spears, but if the roving clans come at us, they're going to do it with purchased minor faction units anyway, probably, so I think this is sensible. And then we'll just do improved life on you, because I do not really have a good sense of when we're going to have titanium free. And then, do we want to use Telsum Warlocks at all at this point? Maybe I just want Harmonite? Ooh, the base cost of Harmonite is so high, though. They're cool units. They do some good stuff. And you know what? You know what's really fun about Harmonite? Because they are not made of flesh, they have immunity to the necrophage disease and parasite. Which maybe makes them exactly what we want to do for our heavier infantry. And like I said... we can go for the adamantine on them. They have a very, very poor base initiative score, so we have to assume that they will not be going first, and that means that probably Sweep Strike Back is pretty relevant. I do have a large empire, and I like my army to be able to report quickly across it, and improved base life. Okay. Those are some very high unit costs, is the thing about that. But there's no way around it, right? Like, we're not gonna be able to make units on the cheap. It's just not how things go. Okay, so 2,200 to purchase. Let's just queue up a couple of each. These guys are 4,000 coins each, 4,000 dust each. Ridiculous. Does it make sense to buy out Zoparisk's thing? Probably. Again, I am, like, to some degree, I am trying to soft pedal the first tech, because I really want Red to get their tech done first. I have no concern that Red getting their tech done first will cause them to actually, like, beat us to the punch, right? We are for sure going to get ours researched, provided that we survive. So my primary concern is survive. And then with only 2k, we actually can't buy out very much. You know what? That's worth doing. Can't build another district here. We'll be able to next turn, though. Next turn, we're up to 8 pop. Okay, so... We're definitely going to want more than one city working on units, like almost certainly, just to really make sure that we are safe. We don't have to have a large enough army to beat other players. We just have to have a large enough army that other players feel like it would not be a good idea to attack us. So yeah, the poison has run out on you. Skyene looks like it has no further spies. I'm sure they withdrew. It's the sensible thing to do. So let's just get you back in there. And what is this? Who comes to me with a deal? Red wants a commercial agreement. Am I trading with Red? How many of my trade routes are even with them? All of them. Every single one of them, actually. A lot of the time, I would be happy to give a player who is working on endless technologies a new tech just to mess with their technology costs, but here I don't actually want the cost for the tech Red is working on to go up, and also I really don't want Red to have this weapons technology in particular, so I think we're going to refuse on that one. I might counter propose actually. Okay, it doesn't seem that hard to buy ourselves into this contract. We'll just use dust. It's fine. Like 1,500 maybe? Yeah, cool. Provided that our peace holds, we'll make that 1,500 back in no time, I'm sure. So down in Underin, we can now begin the construction of another thing. If we build it right here, we get a level up, so we should probably do that. And then buyout time. Is there anything else that we really want in Rondaria? Anything that's going to help with the production of units? Not really. Aside from maybe a Burrow Street. Are we cool on happiness here? Yes. We could certainly afford another Burrow. So if we reach out to this thing, like if I build a burrow here and then I build a burrow there, we get actually a very large amount of resources. It does produce a situation where we have nothing leveled up, but I think the approval level of the city can bear it, and we're going to get, yeah, it's going to be well worth the resource costs. Okay, can't buy you out. Can and shall buy you out, and then also Advanced Alchemy Lab would be good to build. Slowly, we will construct all of the things that we need over here. And Tina N has finished its security building and should probably actually, like, what else do we need to make Tina N a place where we can build units? We don't have the resources for the Imperial News Network. Again, we're short 2 Mithrite, and there is no Mithrite on the market. So, not really much to do about that. Sadly. We can try to trade some off of somebody. Who do I think has Mithrite? I think you have Mithrite. Not very much of it, though. Well, I just need a couple. And in exchange, I will give you... Yeah, I can give you some glass steel. That's a fine deal. Blue trusts us. They think that we're just the bee's knees over here. That's a weird phrase. Say that out loud. Think about it for even a moment, and it's just like, What was wrong with people in the past that this was the kind of stuff they decided to say on purpose? Oh wow, purple's actually almost eliminated. So it must be the necrophages using mercenary armies, right? Or you know what, actually, sorry. Down here it could also be the cult. Because the cult's armies just burn cities to the ground. But the cult's not at war with them, right? No, the cult's at war with purple. Okay, that's what's happening. They're getting culted real bad. That's pretty great news for the cult. When the cult burns down cities, they get a pretty massive benefit, even more massive than the one that you normally get. Fortunately, I do not think it is going to lead to them competing with us in any way that matters, aside from the fact that it's going to mean they have a big army. But, like, who cares? As long as they're not using it on me. Now, the real clever play would be if we could figure out a way to get everybody at war with the necrophages at once. You know what? Just a raw, naked map exchange. There's almost no way this benefits me, but it also 100% for sure doesn't harm me at all. Oh no, they know a pretty significant portion of the North Sea. I guess that makes sense given their positioning. So no, in fact, there is no landmass up here. It's just a lot of open water. Wild how on this continent, we were literally the only player who did not have access to the water. That's that's really something. I guess technically the strait is open, like we could have sailed all the way out and around. Ridiculous. Just very silly stuff. All right, let's get... I want to get this done in Tinen. And then, yeah, I think Tinen obviously has some science stuff it needs to build, but also, while we're waiting for that to become viable, some troops would probably be a good idea. Especially given its situation, its position. Oh, and we should probably... Yeah, these warlocks are not... I didn't upgrade the warlock design, but I should, even if I'm not going to build warlocks, just so that our currently extant warlocks can stay relevant. So you're also gonna get adamantian claws, I guess? I'm expecting our army to be mostly made of the other things, you know? Yeah, we should go ahead and do that. And then actually our hero probably is not modern outfitted either. Nope. So we're gonna be facing a lot of infantry. I mean, obviously, the two-handed bow just does way more damage than the crossbows do. The Dish of Canuck does make a hero way tough, though, which is cool. Maybe it's worth doing a one-handed crossbow. So that's 83 attack, 48 damage versus 116 attack, 59 damage. So the damage value difference isn't really that big. So it's just a question of whether that attack is necessary to push you over from... to push you over the threshold of the enemy's defense, which is... it's hard to know ahead of time. The difference in Palladian really doesn't matter, I don't think. It's 40 attack. I'm gonna do it this way. We're gonna Dish of Canuck here. Is that better than... So 22 defense plus 25% attack. Well, it's certainly more... It's a lot more defense than going with a proper adamantian shield or Palladian shield. The Palladian shield does have the advantage of boosting attack, though, to make up some of the difference lost with the longbow. And she's way more resilient in this configuration against melee attackers, things actually reaching her. So we can use her to sort of block for the other ranged units. So I probably want the defense then. I think we're probably okay. I'm going to lock in this, and then we're going to jump back in and look at her trinkets. But I wanted to get that change established. So she can pick up a... Here we go. Army Health Boost 3 trinket. 30 plus 35 plus 15% is significant. And then She has army defense boost. We could grab for that last slot. It could be army damage boost. It could be army initiative boost. We could drop the Eye of the Hernas and do both. We could do a personal life boost. I'm gonna do the personal life boost for right now. No, I am not. She does not have the. We do not have the dust for that. I do want her to have damage boost. How much initiative is this? +4, +10%. Yeah, that's not even meaningful. Okay, so we want to give her the other trinket, and we totally will once we have the loose titanium for it. Which should be a problem, right? Because, like, it's not like we need titanium for things. Alright, come on, Red. Show me a victory notification. My suspicion, my thinking with Arla is that we're probably just going to do the same deal here. We're going to go ahead and start with a reveal spies maneuver, because, boy, I sure do hate it when they spy on me. Okay, Red is no longer black spotted. We're definitely pushing up toward inspirational leader with everybody who does not have native science bonuses. Andarin can now... you know, it has enough districts now that National Museum's not bad. You know what? Let's build a hydromatic laboratory. There's enough water in this city. I mean, I guess it's only 4 tiles. Is that worth 10 titanium? God, we're so tight on titanium. Another thing to be thinking about, of course, is that as we start moving people over onto science, we are going to want to have the money or the titanium to start equipping these on our governors, and that is yet another titanium expenditure. So really hard to say, actually, if that's a thing worth doing. I think I'm not going to. Let's go ahead and build the National Museum. I think that's probably fine. If I put you on food focus, I'm just thinking about getting to a place where we can build another district, because the National Museum here is not critical. It might be time to just start moving people over to science. We're going to want to kick that engine into extremely high gear the moment difference engine finishes. I'm not as concerned prior to that. Okay, we definitely want to get an arts council going in the capital. And that is the last direct science building, except, of course, the Nyctalopian lenses, which we have not so far had the spare pearls to build. I think we've used our pearls better than this, but, like, at this point, I sure would love to have this building. When winter starts, we'll see what we can do about pearl gathering. So up here, it does feel like the Advanced Alchemy Lab is probably worthwhile. Man, Imperial funding sure would be good. How much titanium we bring in a turn? 7? Oh, snap. 4. Give it. All right, so don't spend any titanium this turn so that you can Imperial funding next turn. Seems good. Let's start building some military units. And then we have a lot of money left. Slick probably should just buy out its Trader's Lottery. And then what makes sense for Slick? Does Slick also become troop production? It doesn't really have much. Like, if I move everybody over to industry here, the build times aren't that bad. They're not as fast as the fastest places in the Empire, but pouring out troops is going to be a big this is going to be a theme for our Empire in this this next phase. We're just going to produce as much metal as we can here in the hopes that other players will think it unwise to mess with us. I don't know if that's like an outcome that we can actually make occur. In particular, obviously, I'm worried about the necrophages. Apologies about the dog. I don't know what the hell the dog's doing in the other room. She sounds very excitable. Okay, the Necrophage's army is nosediving pretty badly, as is Red's. Have they gone to war? Is that a bunch of mutual losses? It is not. Although it could be their privateer armies fighting each other, proxy wars between mercenary companies happening. Let's run one more turn so that I can commit the funding to Tunen, because otherwise I'm afraid I'll forget, and then we'll stop there for the day. Very close to getting this difference engine done, and I'm very nervous about what's going to happen when we do it. God, I have a lot of Hyperium. Maybe we should sell this Hyperium. We should probably sell this Hyperium. We should probably trade this Hyperium to people in exchange for valuable gifts. I don't know what. Probably mostly large amounts of titanium. All right, there it is. Beautiful stuff. Is that? Yes. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Okay. This is a Cold War. Yep. No surprise there, but I do want to reverse it. We may have found the use for our for our large stock of Hyperium, honestly. So in Zoparusk, oh no, sorry, this is Madanav that I'm zoomed out enough that they can't it can't center on Madanav because it's so close to the bottom of the map. I mean, it feels like just putting down a district here and having it immediately be level 2 is pretty okay, and then we build another district there, and that'll get me some more levels. And you know, science is one of the things that districts produce when they level up, science and influence, so that all makes a certain kind of sense. Let's go ahead and commit this here and probably just purchase it. I think that's totally fine. And then, Red, I really need to not be Cold War with you. And I know that you do not love that idea. Is there any technology I could give you at this point that you would actually take? Because again, at this point, we're messing with their tech costs. I would prefer for it not to be science stuff, but science, literally the only things we have that they want are science stuff. They don't even want marvelous alloys anymore. Living lab tools is too much. Fluid biomechanics is less good for them, and then we'll cap it off with something else. Oh, interesting. That's going to be more of a challenge than I thought. You cannot have my pearls. I need those. They don't care about the wine. They don't really care about the moonleaf even. They love the gold. We're producing 9 gold per turn. Oh, right, and we just refired it. So yeah, we can just give them all the gold. That's totally fine. And then like a very small amount of money to just sort of sweeten it and push it over the top. Yep. They're making me pay an extra 60 influence to give them 10 dust. You know what? Let's make this a deal that reads as being considerably in their favor. I'll push that number. Just so that we have that modifier. I don't know if that's enough to actually trigger the modifier. I'm hoping it is. So I'm assuming this was red troops. Yeah. I think they will stop now that peace has been declared. They will stop pillaging at the beginning of the next turn, I believe. All right, and with that, winter is any moment now. There's a remarkable amount of just open territory, as I think most players are making the same calculation that I made, that it's just not worth taking stuff over at this point in the game for the limited benefit that you will receive. And we're running a large, strong, happy, prosperous empire that's putting out an amount of science that seems, frankly, a little silly, only 7,600 per turn. And that's going to go up pretty sharply in just a moment here. And we still, again, have, like, we haven't turned the engine on yet. We haven't converted our population to science output almost anywhere. We are also at 26% of the way to a diplomatic victory, and I sort of wonder if we could have... If we had really thought about that as a plan, like 40 turns ago, I wonder if that would have been a reasonable move, because we could produce an awful lot of influence if we really wanted to. And like when you maintain good relationships with a lot of players like this, that is a lot of free diplomatic points every turn. Well. We know what our aim is, and we are driving for it just about as fast as I feel safe driving for it. So that's going to be it for us for today. Thank you all so much for watching. When you come back next time, soon, which should be quite soon, we're going to generate that first victory notification and see exactly what happens as a response. My suspicion is we're going to get a lot of privateers flooding in over the border that we have to deal with. And we'll see you then.